Minuet by moonlight, I swear I can still see the place in all its original vividness. The thousands of wax tapers lighting the huge colonial house, the air redolent with heavy blossoms, spelling romance crinoline, gowned women and the men. With their lace collars and Lorna beating my wrist. I was born in the Miami Open in the spring of '51 and was feeling pretty good. I had broken 70 in the round, and although I finished the tourney in the All-Sorin list, pretty good about that. Too so good, in fact. That I had to tell someone. Suddenly I thought of just the guy Rob Allen. Rob was in the Marine, Corps with me, and I hadn't seen him in years. Why not stop now that I was so close to Atlanta? I swung the car off the highway onto a dirt road about 3 or 4 miles out of town, and just as I reached the peak of profanity over the inaccessibility of rural Georgia, I caught sight of someone, waving to me from the side of the road. Rob Allen, you son of a gun. I was just thinking of you. Come along, Jimmy. We've been waiting for you. I got out of the car and rushed up to shake Rob's hand. But suddenly I stopped, for Rob was dressed in the highest outfit knee breeches. Fancy lace shirt, big lapels, high hat, well, for Pete's sake. But I never finished the sentence. For suddenly a carriage, I said a carriage, not a car, pulled up, and Rob took my arm and ushered me in. It was one of those big jobs, with room for about 8 people. And it was just about full. They're all dressed in those old clothes they call quaint hoop skirts, hats, lots of lace, and they're all smiling and laughing, and nobody seems to mind the least that I'm dressed in my regular street clothes. In fact, they seem to treat me like I'm an old buddy instead of a total stranger. Suddenly this carriage pulls up to one of those old-fashioned southern mansions. It was a big place, columns running all over it. You know, like the Scarlett O'Hara picture. Well, I step out of the carriage, ready for any kind of gag, any concept of what actually happens. Before I even start to laugh, the most beautiful doll I ever saw comes running down the steps and right into my arms. Jimmy, she says to me, making with those big brown eyes and throwing her beautiful blue-black hair all over her shoulders. Jimmy, you're late. I've been dancing in the garden since 9. There's been dancing in the garden since 9. I didn't get it. Rob said you were always late, and now I believe him. But let's not stand here talking. It's tonight. There must be nothing but gaiety. Inside, the place was lit up like Palisades Park. Punch bowls, a string orchestra, plenty of chow, plenty of people. I've never seen anything like it. It was just terrific. But most terrific of all was Lorna. We danced a few dances, quadrille, a minuet, minutes. I never danced like that before, and yet I found I knew the steps. And with Lorna, they were wonderful. It was while we were standing in the shadow of one of those big magnolia trees watching the dancers in the moonlight that I said it. Lorna, I love you, too, Jimmy. Her eyes said it more than her lips. Yet her lips, I stopped over and kissed her, and in that moment, I knew there would never be any other girl for me but Lorna. 2 old farmers found me in my car, jammed up against a steering wheel. They pulled me out gently, and I opened my eyes. I was on the old dirt road outside Atlanta, and my car was pushed into a big Buick in front of me. I got to my feet unsteadily and tried to walk to the other car, and I tripped over something. It was a tombstone. It sounds silly, but something made me stop and read the inscription. It said, "Beloved daughter Lorna Allen. Died April 13th, 1833. I walked to the other car and looked inside. The driver was slumped over the wheel, dead. I didn't have to look at his face to know it was Rob Allen. One of the old farmers pulled me away gently. Moose had taken a heart attack at the wheel. We seen the whole thing. He swerved suddenly as you turned in and you cracked into him. Thing, you weren't hurt. Mourn you are. I reached into my pocket for a cigarette, and my hand wrapped around something strange and cold. I took it out and looked at it. It was a gold-tasseled stylus, attached to a dance program with my name, written in all the blank spaces. At the top of the program was written the name, Lorna